Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AEW Sidecast here on the Mike the Riff Twitch channel. It is a lovely November 8th, 2023, and been a very interesting day so far. Oh, wait, what we got? Just breaking. The SAG AFTA strike, whatever, for, you know, the reason John Cena's been in WWE. They reached a 3-year settlement officially today. They've agreed to terms. I guess they're going to probably have to ratify it, but yeah, we can confirm John Cena ain't going to be back anytime soon. Don't know whether it's a good or a bad thing, but, you know, I digress to that point. But how's everybody doing tonight? We got a loaded Dynamite here, and just thinking of the top of the card. Top of the card right off the bat. We got Daniel Garcia taking on MJF for the heavyweight championship, which MJF doesn't even have right now, which is, I'll tell you this, I know it's an overlying story, but it's one of the most asinine stories I ever see. But yeah, good on Garcia for getting this opportunity here. I think this could be the first time that two people under the age of 27 are fighting for a championship or something to that effect, from what I read.
I call this a sucker riot. Come on, boys. Let's take him to school. Oi! Oi! Oi!
For some reason, Art, I just picture you to be just like that with the graphic there. How you doing, Art? Hope everything's going well. If you guys are not followed, which I don't know if you're following this channel and you can't be following Art right now, please make sure you are. There's the easy link for you guys. Twitch makes things so easy sometimes. That graphic is totally you. I just see you and all the Jets fans just piling in here and just start rioting with everybody here. But yeah, Art was playing a lot of MLB The Show. We're going to be back on there Saturday night before I wrap up for a few days off. Just a quick update on my schedule here. I'll be streaming tomorrow afternoon. We're looking at around 2:30 Mountain Time, 4:30 Eastern. Kayla J is going to be joining me, along with anybody else who wants to be around to join up. We're going to take a look at the new Mario Kart 8 tracks. I was going to say Mario Kart 9, but no, that's coming. We're patiently waiting, but the new tracks come out tomorrow, so she whooped my booty last time. I think that's the polite way of putting it, right? So let's see if I can try and get it back, run it back, and if any of you guys want to come in and run interference, feel free. Stop by here tomorrow, and then Saturday we'll be here with some MLB The Show. I think Art's inspired me to get into the mini seasons a little bit. As shocking as it might sound, I still have one more Easter egg card to finish, and that's from the mini seasons. So I think we'll tackle that a little bit, and then from there, the next stream I will have will actually be next week's AEW Dynamite Sidecast. I got to take Sunday to Tuesday off. I got some work to do around the apartment here, so. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. And we were talking earlier, we got Daniel Garcia taking on MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship. We also have Keith Lee taking on Samoa Joe for the ROH TV title. Let's go. And speaking of let's go, Head Fries in the chat. I think that Buddy Head Fries here with our local establishment. Hope you're doing well, my friend. This, you know, he's doing a great job there with Chris Parrish every Wednesday night, immediately following AEW Dynamite with their Wrestle Draft. A lot of interesting conversations going on and whatnot, so life is, I'll say this. I got a lot of crazy stuff going on, but hanging out with you guys every week, it just makes things feel that much better. Guys and girls don't want to differentiate. But yeah, it is a lot of fun to hang out with all of you. It is truly a blast. We also got Julia Hart taking on Red Velvet, which I can't remember the last time I seen Red Velvet on AEW Dynamite here. And yes, we can get into the women's division, how poorly they're booked here as an overall product on the TV compared to what the men have. And yeah, hey, I don't consider them good words. I just consider them the truth. Because I'll call Parrish a putz if I need to call him a putz. Just got to qualify stuff. But I'll always make sure to duck out whenever I have to. But the other match that I'm really looking forward to, and I love the fact that they've been bringing up Lucha Underground as part of this one. We got Penta versus Swerve Strickland tonight. Like, you tell me that isn't going to be a flippy good time. And the fact that these two basically work together in Lucha Underground as, for anybody that doesn't know, for Lucha Underground, first of all, go watch it. It's about as close to cinematic TV as you're going to get. That's more of a permanent product compared to what it was during the pandemic. But Swerve Strickland was under the hood under a name of Killshot. So he gets his opportunity here to take on Penta, who, I don't know, Penta's been in this place here where he's been getting a lot of good matches, but not a lot of wins. It almost feels like maybe they need to get him a win somewhere here. Because he just seems like a big punching bag at times here lately. And, well, he's got to get the work in because while Phoenix is gone, he's going to have to step it up here because Phoenix might be out for a while. So, but yeah, overall, it should be a great night of action here. And I know there's been a lot of scuttlebutt lately about how AEW has lost its luster a little bit and numbers are down all over the place. And the big news this week coming out of NXT where they just swooped in and got Billy Corgan's deal on the CW, which is a whole different ball of wax altogether itself. Yeah, I guess sniffing some coke will get you taken off TV. Who would thought of that? It's like, I just want to get the soundboard working, make sure it's working right here. Yeah, things are looking up for the Fed. They found a way to increase their value on all their products, and that's all they were looking for. So good on them here. Just a reminder before we get going here, we got about 3 minutes before, 2 minutes. I gotta look at my own countdown clock instead of trying to guess by the clock on my computer here. The month of November, we are raising funds for Jack.org. It is a organization that helps youth and young adults see the symptoms and a lot of the tendencies when it comes to depression, anxiety, suicidal tendencies and whatnot, and provides them with some tools to help out, learn how to cope with those, and also help others around them. So it's like friends helping friends if they're feeling depressed or whatnot. When you're that young, you don't know all the you have a tendency not to know all the factors and know all the ways that you could help, not notice certain things. And you always, whenever you see someone die young, you always wonder, is there something you could do? Well, Jack sort of tries to help you out with, all right, if you see this might be happening, so maybe you should, here's some guidelines that you could do to help out with it. Jack.org sets up talks at high schools, universities, different organizations that are targeted at the youth. My campaign always here has been, as you can see on the bottom, be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. And Jack really helps with that. So you can hit !Jack as I am doing right now. Hopefully this works. There it is. And you can click the link there for more details about it. Or if you're more of a QR person, just check out the QR code on the left. And any amount will help. Goal is $100 for the month here. So, yeah, if you're feeling generous, we are coming up to American Thanksgiving. It would be greatly appreciated if you help out. So, and I managed to get my promo in under 2 minutes, which is better than most indie wrestlers these days. So, yeah, just as Dynamite's about to come up here. This will be fun tonight. Let me just turn this. I've been seeing a lot of the streams have their volume up a little bit, so I'm glad that I can. What's he doing? His Excalibur impression talking that fast? Holy cabolies. All right. How does he get a chance to say it to the screen? But I'll take it. Okay. He's going to try and handle Bullet Club Gold. Hey, Mr. Zodiac. How you doing here tonight? So, nice little poke at the bear there. Let's watch some wrestling. Absolutely. Oh, God. So what I want to do, one other thing I need to do, and I'm going to set this up here for, and it only happens on rare occasions. I want to set up a button here. And that ends that video. Is that really his shirt? Is that really his shirt? Adam! But yeah, I want to set up a button here. What the? I want to, you know what? We crap on the production team all the time. I want to give them a shout out real quick here. Did anybody else notice Toni Storm's addition into the intro there? They literally went black and white for her moment in this on there. That is pretty damn awesome if you ask me. But yeah, oh, they're doing the heavyweight title match right away here. Is there anything specific you guys want to predict on this one? Because might be a little. I love little touches and attention to detail. Me too. And I just noticed that today. Like, whoa, hello, here we go. But it's funny. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard one of the newest pods they have out there. It's the McGuire on Wrestling chat feed that you can get on any of your podcast channels. As part of that, they have the alternate commentary table with the play-by-play guys from London Wrestling down in Calgary. Shout out to the I guess it's a different one here. It's the Saturnian World Order. They got the Greek World Order. I don't know why I just flashed the shirt, but it's just a cool shirt right now. So praise Saturn, by the way. Completely throwing everything off there. They were I don't agree with a lot of things they mentioned on their pod, but I will say it was interesting that they talked about how they wanted a talking segment to start the show, just something to put things together. And the fact that we got something like that tonight, and it made sense. You know you're trembling in fear of the Saturn when you cannot spell the Saturn. So, let me get a prediction up here. I'm just trying to... I got to do a four-way one here, or else we're never going to get through this. Or it's going to be dang obvious to everybody here. Fight Forever should have come out on the Saturn. Hey, if it plays like it came out on the Saturn, so... And they get the rim shot still in. And I typed in... I typed in Saturn instead of submission. Thanks, Zodiac. But I will say, now that they put the new patch in, I wouldn't mind getting into it just for one night. Just to see if anything's realistically improved on it. I forgot we got this match too tonight. Mark Briscoe, Jay White. Like... So, Mark Briscoe gets a number one contendership match tonight in their main event. Okay. The Rings of Saturn submission move, so it also works. Hey, that works. But yeah, like... Overall, I'm expecting a lot of good things. Like, we are, what, a week and a half away from Full Gear here? I love this. Why do I feel that 2.0 is going to cost Garcia this match here somehow? By the way, before I forget, predictions are up. Ready, whatever you are. If I had my stopwatch ready, I would have picked time of match maybe as a better gamble, but... Oh, God. What? You're not the Ring of Honor champion. You're not supposed to be doing that. I guess you are the Ring of Honor tag champ, so that sort of works. Oh, good old MJF here. But yeah, here's the match I'm really looking forward to tonight. Samoa Joe, Keith Lee. I realistically think there could be a change in champion there. I know everybody complains that we don't get to see Samoa Joe, or sorry, the Ring of Honor championships defended on Ring of Honor a whole lot. Unless it's a pay-per-view, which sort of defeats the purpose. And I do like the thought of, and in chat, let me know what you think here. Should Rampage be rebranded as Ring of Honor every Friday and just run an hour that way? And just have the Ring of Honor online stuff as a supplementary thing? Personally, I feel that a lot of that Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor bonus you get down there is to see a lot of talent you won't see anywhere else. Rampage being Ring of Honor would be great. Yeah, like... And the fact that they could tape it on... The only difference is you tape it on Wednesdays instead of Fridays or Saturdays. And there's a commercial, so we're going to mute that because these guys didn't pay me. They paid TSN here, so... Oh, and just a reminder, for Full Gear, we will be here for a watch-along, so I will try to be here for 0 hour, but I do work during the day, so I can't guarantee that I'll be here for the pre-show. But as soon as I get home and get organized, we might share pizza together. But we'll definitely watch the show together, and we could talk about everything going on. And it is shaping up to be a decent card here right now. We're gonna hear a few more matches develop and come together, and the fact that it is in LA and it is the big season for wrestling right now, or for TV contracts as well. You could definitely see that they're gonna probably pull something big. I still honestly believe that Mercedes Moné is going to show up at Full Gear. She's contracted to Bushiroad still, I do believe, but it doesn't stop her if she's with Bushiroad and she's contracted to New Japan. Giving her an AEW date is not going to hurt anything with it there. So what do you guys also think? There's another rumor going around, and I was just reading on the old X platter. I will not call it what you still want me to call it. Exeter, I believe, is what we're trying to sort this out. But I was reading that there is a possibility that Mr. Punk might want to take a trip overseas to Japan to be a part of New Japan in some cases, which realistically could be somewhat better for him, for the fact that he gets in for a week and then gets out for a while. And I'm sure the locker room would not deal with any BS there whatsoever. But they've dealt with enough problems there that I don't think it'd be that big of a deal to have him there. Like, and they're willing to take controversial people too, because the biggest example I can give you is Michael Elgin was there for a hell of a long time with a lot of domestic abuse allegations there. So it's a whole different world out there. Wow. That was a very interesting. Whoa, Williams. That was really nice. Seeing that roll through, like basically doing a mini suplex into a brainbuster like that. Well, there we go. And I love the fact that we got two of the youngest people on the roster going at it for the AEW title at stake here. So, like, when people say you don't build up your own stars, main event tonight is Mark Briscoe taking on Jay White. Essentially, de facto for the #1 contendership for the AEW Championship, which right now Jay White possesses, so he'll be giving the title to Briscoe if he wins. We all know what's going on there, but MJF has said that he's going to take care of a Bullet Club Gold tonight. Well, that's a new version of the Rampage. That was a tight small package DDT there. Oh, a hammerlock too on top of it. Thank you, Shivani, for pointing that out to me. I've always, like, I don't know about you guys, but that Heat Seeker just doesn't click with me here. Just because it's so easy to be reversed. Literally, you're setting yourself... Don't start trying to do Cole's moves for him. Jesus. But yeah, we got our main event will be Briscoe and Jay White. The women's match is going to be... That almost looked like a pedigree. We're going to get Julia Hart taking on Red Velvet. We're going to hear from Shida and Storm as they're going to, I do believe, go either face-to-face or sign a contract in it. Oh, look at that power there. Power and technique, because holding that with one arm, like, that looks like a Claudio move. The dragon... Oh, what? He's tickling him. He's tickling him. That's what you do, right? You... Oh, and there's the transition. Yep, no. There's a tap. Zodiac, sorry about your 10 points. I knew I had to do something to make it different here, so... You know what? This is a great showcase match for Garcia. It was a lot closer than expected. Like, you would think somebody like Garcia, who does have a winning streak off of Dynamite, I'd like to see him... The funny thing is, that in Canada, it's weird because... You do have to talk about continuity differently in Canada than you do in the States. Because all three shows are on the TBS TNT network down in the States. In Canada, you have to go to the streaming service to check out Rampage and Dynamite for all our American viewers. I'm tempted to start getting it now. I've reworked some things around to maybe get it, but... Wish the build-up would have been better. Making this thing from Rampage was a bit random. One thing I'll say, and Zodiac, I agree with you. I'd love to see this match build up to a big one. But our big one is going to be... Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. MJF is just... Get away from 2.0 and let's see you do it. But what I will say is the fact that you're not building up this match sort of tells you that the one thing about Tony Khan is he likes to focus on one thing at a time. He doesn't... I know it says one of our biggest misnomers about AEW is the fact that Tony Khan can't adapt to the situations, can't change his plan or anything. Oh, and here comes the DraftKings promo. You know, I should mute this right now, too, just because they're not paying me either. But maybe DraftKings will contact me after the stream here today, and they're like, yeah, we want to sponsor you, too. All right, well, now they're... All right, well, I'm just talking lots so I can get to the commercial here. But yeah, this is... Tony Khan's biggest problem is the fact that he can't move away from storylines, and plotting something like this in, like, while if you just take it to points, it made sense. It barely made sense, and I think that's where you're getting to, Zodiac, here. This match would be built up. If this match was built up, it would feel a lot bigger than it is, But I don't think it's supposed to be. I think this match is just supposed to be one of those, sort of like a Saturday night's main event match where you just get in, get your match, and now you're headed to the pay-per-view. Sort of like makes it feel like you are obligated to defend the title. And maybe MJF feels like he's obligated to defend the title every once in a while. Like a heel wouldn't care, but a face does. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what it is. But, yeah, it's an interesting situation when it comes to that. The women's title, it's been also like that as well. TBS, TNT, depending on the situation. Christian absolutely doesn't care. He'll wait months to defend that title if he can help it. Like, let's face it, since Full Gear, how often does he defend it? He's not defending it the pay-per-view because he's in that 6-person tag. Sorry, 6. I don't know how you would say it if you include a dinosaur in that. And I'm not talking about Luchasaurus either there. But it's going to be fun to see how everything builds out. But yeah, I wish that something was saying, like in this situation here right now, you'd like to see a little bit more flow, not only with the TBS championship even, because Chris hasn't worked a whole lot in the last while, but also like this Keith Lee Samoa Joe match. Like this match here coming up could main event a pay-per-view. In my opinion, Samoa Joe, Keith Lee, if you put some build behind it and backed it up, I think that could have been the Death by or Final Battle main event. Because if Eddie Kingston ain't doing anything with his title right now, I think he defended it once against Shibata, and that's about it right now. As they're coming back from the break. Wow. Young baby Jay White. That look is so, like, he looks so much older now. Once again, shout out to the production staff for bringing out that classic footage. And if you're coming in and you're a casual viewer, something like this will let you know why this is an important main event. And I'm very happy to see this as well. Oh, we got this tag match here too. And I think we got the Workhorsemen taking on Sting and Darby tonight. Is this the first time we're seeing Sting in a matchup since... Oh. All right, Shivani, sorry for the double take there. Yeah, as a previous rule, when the other team is already in the ring, I don't put predictions up because it ain't going to last that long. Oh, it's the Beverly Brothers 2.0. One of my one and only shorts on this channel, YouTube Shorts, when they made their debut. Oh, the Outrunners. Okay, that's who they are. Just trying to remember the name, but... Is it true Ric Flair signed a contract to AEW? Yes, Ric Flair has signed a 2-year contract. By the way, good to see you, Jagger. He has signed a 2-year contract in cooperation with his new energy drink, Woo Energy. So, from what we've seen, it is two separate contracts, but it's almost to the point where the sponsorship contract to AEW is about equivalent to what Flair is going to be getting as a wrestler. So it's a bit of a saw-off here, which it makes a little bit more sense on why Flair would get signed for as long as he is. Like, realistically, if you're going to sign Ric Flair, first of all, number one, you shouldn't. Second of all, Tony Khan.
You idiot.
But number three, if you're going to do it for as cheap as possible, because Flair is going to bring a lot of mainstream attention to you, but not necessarily all in the good way. It's almost as if Mr. Double H would show up here. Not Triple H, Double H. Because if you saw Hogan show up at AEW, he'd bring some attention, but I don't think it's any kind of attention you really want to have. Because I'll tell you point blank, if Hogan signed here, he would have said he main evented the last 3 All-Ins. Hell, he's probably going to say that now. Like, for anybody that's upset about the stereotypical 80s wrestler, it's clearly an example of exactly what Hulk Hogan is. Makes up stories, never... Oh my God. These outrunners are just, what the heck? That just looked awkward as heck. Is it a way to get on drive? I don't think it'll matter either way. While it is, you know, it's nice to have your father-in-law around. With all due respect, and now I'm not married. I never have been. I probably never will be in this case, but that's a different story for a different day. In most cases, do you really want your father-in-law around all the time? Just thinking about that for a second. Like, I don't know if it works just like the mother-in-law thing where everybody's like, ew, mother-in-law, go away. Oh, so we're doing Sting, Darby, and Copeland versus the New Righteous? By the way, what do you guys think of that new faction that's come up with Jake Roberts as a manager now? With the Righteous teaming up with Lance Archer. I actually think it's actually a pretty cool group with Jake Roberts in charge. The only thing I ask is, can they please have Spin the Wheel make the deal with Sting and Jake out there? A lot of people forget that that was the second ever spin the wheel, make the deal. The Arch Righteous, I'll give you that one. Pretty freaking nice, like the way things are going right now, and the fact that we're getting more Adam Copeland out here, and you almost felt that he was going to be that Saturday guy. Oh, God. All I could say right now is this video is probably being clipped by many people. There's also, what is that called? Wiki Feet? Tony sort of made one of the cardinal rules for TV and streaming these days. Oh, the shoe is gone. The shoe is gone. I am very grateful that they did that as a backstage segment, because out here that would have been about 15 points more than it really should have. All right. Next poll up. This one's going to be fun. Oh, I got to get this in. Sorry. I'm behind. Let me get the prediction up. There we go. Is that what the cool kids do these days? I think that's what we're supposed to do, right? So that I don't need any grades on it because I'm pretty sure that was a 3. Also, the fact that the camera zoomed in too much. I'm gonna have to fix that up so you guys can see a better view of that. So. But this is going to be a fun match. And Penta's still up with his Halloween gear. Almost makes me wonder if we've ever seen Penta Obscuro. If he's ever going to be available here. Sorry, just making a quick thing on... There, that should do it. Sorry, folks. Just I'm going to throw this out here right now in the chat. Just a reminder: we are raising money for mental health and suicide prevention for youth. Here, the link's down below. The organization is called Jack.org. All the details on Jack.org themselves are in the. I direct you to my page where it has all the details of the organization and a website you can check it out with as well. No obligation, just trying to do the good thing here in November, and once again trying to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks, so we're probably going to have somebody rip someone's mask off here. And by someone, I mean Penta. Because Penta does that a lot. Jesus! You gotta love it when somebody can literally stop on a dime and just throw out a random head scissors. I have to ask one simple question, chat, and maybe you can help me out with this one. How did WWE miss on him? Like, this Swerve just seems like almost like a slam dunk in terms of a talent. And, you know, the only thing I can think of is, you know, I hate to bring up racially motivated activities, but Vince, well, let's put it this way. Kofi Mania was based on it. At least the first part of Kofi Mania, if people want to remember those promos, and a lot of people don't, They tried to pull a Daniel Bryan in that case, but then it just got dark in a hurry. No pun intended whatsoever there. I'm sorry if it even thought about putting it there. But it's nice to see Swerve getting that build up. Like, I think once he gets past Swerve at the over Hangman at the pay-per-view, which I totally think is going to happen. I think that's where Swerve starts to get built up. He might be one of those guys that if Cole isn't ready to go by January, which he should. You can almost put Swerve at like Winter is Coming in December, or maybe even prolong it as far as Revolution if you need to, but because you still have Samoa Joe in the, oh God. Ew. I believe ew is the word we're looking for here. Ew. Backstabber. Jesus. What a shot. I always love it when you can get timing down like that. Like just watching Simply, oh, Swerve almost didn't get him there on that. Glad he recovered. Whoa!
But I'm better than you. And you know it!
Andrew! 14 freaking months as a sub. Thank you, my friend. Now, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well, and I hope everything's going swimmingly here. I saw that you had a Christmas golf tournament all lined up. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make that one for Christmas Day. We'll see. More because I'm worried about Boxing Day than... Oh, that was somebody else. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I just can't... Oh, that was Jordan. Okay. I just see Mario Golf and that's what I just assumed. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, I hate to compare it to the other black wrestlers, but it seemed like a perfect choice to pick up where Booker T and R-Truth left off. Yeah, like, not sure if it's real. I think it's real, but I think it's getting shot down faster than, how do I put this? Shot down faster than a women's program here in AEW. I think is the best way to put that there, but yeah, it's going to be fun. That I do love a little bit. By the way, a little sidebar here. As my little guilty pleasure right now, is I've been trying to relax a little bit lately because I've had some news come down all the way across. Nothing. Well, let's put it this way: it's serious, but at least it's being dealt with now rather than me living in confusion for the last 4 years. But anyway, I'll get to that later on. I've actually been playing a lot of PGA 2K23. Been trying, just going through the career mode slowly. Would like to get into Mario Golf a little bit more here. It seems like Whack-A-Ball is so much of a time relaxer, whether it's in real life or in video games. Oh, it's fine. I guess I'll just throw it out here while we're in picture-in-picture, and then just had my follow-up today with my respirologist. I have asthma, and right now, currently, my lungs are at about a 40% capacity. So after 3 months, my lung capacity has improved. However, when they did an x-ray, because I slipped on some ice pre-pandemic and landed on my ribs, I had one of those big coffee cups, 60 ounces, landed right on the side of my ribs, so I bruised some ribs here. Apparently, since then, I have had an infection in my side there. Like there's some swelling and infection around the ribs. And possibly it might be a little bit be on the lungs. So I do have medication for it right now. And that's where I was saying I've been living with an infection and pain in my side for, well, pretty much through an entire pandemic. And then some. So we are on the road to recovery, though. We're going to work on it at least. But yeah, I don't mind being open with you guys. Most of you guys know I'm a pretty open book when it comes to most things. Sometimes to my own detriment, but keep moving in the right direction. Well, you know, that's what they say at work, and I really don't want to do that. But yeah, like, I just want to get, once we get that cleared up and I can get rid of that pain and maybe get a little bit more breathing area, have my way work back into the gym, because I was, like, you know, I am an absolute symbol of fitness and enthusiasm here. I was actually going pretty hard at the gym prior to the pandemic, before they closed all the gyms, and just, yeah. Jesus. I'm glad that these guys are doing a little different spots, by the way. Just throwing myself completely off center here. These guys are not doing the typical moves for what they're doing for shots here. Like they had, instead of just clothesline after clothesline, they're doing the boot, then the clothesline. Okay, that was okay. Everybody just, that's almost like, how do I put this? It's like, you know, when you're playing, I guess, for those that are in Canada and play hockey, how you cut the, or even play soccer, you cut the field in half, and you're playing mini soccer, like as kids, or even as adults, you play half-court basketball. That's almost what it felt like on that exchange spot there for a while. I love that version of a twisting Death Valley driver there. Or maybe in Mexican AA. I don't know which way you want to call it. Uh-oh. We going for more flippy stuff? Oh, no. Jesus! Knew we were going to pull that out sometime tonight. Oh, there we go. There's our, there's a little reminder, you guys, for the fundraiser there. Glad it finally came up. For those that are watching this on the VODs or on the YouTube, the link is available through the QR code on the screen, so... Thinking maybe we'll decide on doing a... Jeez, all right, that's close. Trying to figure out what we're gonna do for a goal when we hit the $1,000. Frankly, I do this stuff just to raise the funds, because I feel it's very, very important to give back every year. Oh God. That camera did not do that justice, but sometimes when things are left to your imagination the way they are there, it looked worse on the, it looked more fierce on the one side with the, without being able to see where the fall happened. Jeez! That earned another one. I love how they get the crowd shots where they're already done their reaction, so they're actually a little late. Block the 450, and here comes your arm. Definitely landed on his head, but lucky his legs caught the rope, so it was a complete free throw. Exactly. What do you guys think of Logan Paul, quote-unquote, saving Rey Mysterio's life there from spiking himself? Fear factor! I thought maybe. By the way, just under a minute for submissions and predictions. If you think Penta can pull this out, the money's there for Penta right now if you want to get in on it. That's a good old-fashioned punt. You gotta love that. Is he going for package pile driver? If he hits that, oh. That was, oh my goodness. That's a Death Valley driver if I ever seen one. Ha! Can't do it. Can't do it. Pray Saturn. Yeah, you had to sort of know that was coming. Get you guys your points back in. For the record, once again, I just want to remind everyone, it's the Turning World Order. Remember the Game Podcast.com. Pick up your shirts there. I actually just got my 5-year anniversary mug. I'll probably bring out on stream tomorrow. Why wouldn't security let him in? Well, why wouldn't the police let him in? I can't see security not doing it, but... like, instead of attacking him, wouldn't you get the police to... Is that Sebastian Wolf on the right? Like, they are in Portland here, so there is a possibility they could use some... Oh. Deadeye on the table. Look at those eyes. I have never seen Paige with those kind of eyes like that. Crazed is one way to put it. I put absolutely nuts. So I don't know if we're going to get... I don't know if we're going to get Strickland now. Or do we make this a no DQ match? Okay. Oh my. You know what? In a way, he really is tofu. Yeah, but here's the thing, and this is the thing that Jay White doesn't get on this. All right, well... Wait. I heard about this. Sega is sponsoring this match. Oh, this is freaking awesome. Pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn. Let's go. And the fact we got Paul White as a part of this. No way! My God, Like a Dragon. I believe Like a Dragon Gain's coming out the next day, or it's coming around the same time here. So this fits absolutely perfect. But yes, Saturnium World Order strikes again. Can somebody let Adam know that, you know, we have our own powers as well? So we might have to, you know, one of these days we're going to have to collaborate our efforts here and make sure we get this new Saturn console brought out. But yeah, next week we have the Like a Dragon street fight. I hope they throw some cinematics in there just for the hell of it, because this is going to be pretty freaking amazing. This feels a lot better than the take. One thing I will say, and one thing I do enjoy about AEW is the fact they get these sponsorship deals on video games and whatnot. And it seems like they're hitting home runs with it. As much as you want to talk about how goofy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match was with Briscoe and Jarrett, I think it was either that or was Hardy and Jarrett, one or the other. As campy as it was, it got the game over. And the fact that it helped with the sales of that as well. I honestly feel that that was a bit of a home run. This, I guarantee you, Kenny Omega is going to make a home run one way or the other. Next week's going to be a lot of fun, to say the least here. So, but the fact that Kenny Omega gets to incorporate video games into his wrestling a little bit more than usual, yeah, I think, yeah, that's the best way to put that there. That's a home run. And I think a lot of people that like the Like a Dragon series, basically the offshoot from Yakuza here, for those that aren't familiar, it is going to be a good spot here to insert that in here and get a lot more fans in. And you know, video game nerds like that see Omega in there and then get to see him in his natural habitat, I think we might stick around a little more. Oh. Well, Jericho's starting a feud that he really doesn't need it right now. Ooh. Oh God, what? Oh God. I like this. Yes! Yes! Thank you. A lot of people think that, hell, a lot of people outside of AEW fans think that right now. Well, we just threw out a new. Oh, here we go. Top of the second hour. I love this. Let's get this one up. Let me throw this up here. We'll put that up there. There's the predict. This is the match I've been looking forward to. See, this is all that major announcement Tony Khan had last week. It should have been. Like the pre-sale sign-up just need to be announced right now. I think we all can agree on that right now. I will say this. I do feel that there will be no more announcements from Tony Khan in that respect for the end of till the end of the year. Because if he does do another one, it has got to be like a Grand Slam, not the pay-per-view, the effect. It's got to be like a 5-star, 7-star kind of announcement, or else he is going to get absolutely roasted all over the place. Meat. Oh, the beef division is alive and well. There you go. There you go. Meat. I cannot wait. And this crowd is, I love matches like this where the crowd is split. Everybody's all over this. By the way, folks, predictions are open. You can predict your channel points towards who's going to win the match. And, you know, channel points can be used for some nice sound alerts. And I'm working on getting a few more. But for right now, I actually got quite a few there. So I'm just watching the old Xbox X machine here. They're definitely buzzing about this right now. This match in particular. I think this match here might be a lot more technically based than a lot of matches that you would expect. It almost feels great. It almost feels like we're going to get a meat division going on here. Missed the clothesline there. Oh, geez. Yeah, everything like even a single shoulder tackle here is just absolutely nuts for what they can do here. Oh, there we go. Now we got some money flowing here. Oh, so they're doing a Ollie Duncan shoot. So question for you, Chad. Have you guys ever picked up any of those? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything while that happened. Surprised Keith's going as dirty as he is there for some of this. Meet forever. Oh, there's... Half this crowd is chanting woo, the other half is chanting meat. With every punch. Now, Keith Lee is a special talent, and that's why I really do hope in this case that he does end up winning. And the fact that nobody... Oh, my goodness. There you go. Some nice meat sticks there in the chat. I think I'm going to have to get some steak emotes done up. What do you think? We need a little steak emote in here? Probably get rid of my punk one so I can add some steak to it. Try and find some way to come up with one of those. So we're going to hear from Orange Cassidy's going to talk about what he's going to do with Moxley. So that'll be a 3-minute promo. Moxley's going to give his response. That'll be a 2-minute promo. So we only got 3 matches left realistically here, I do believe. Yeah, Red Velvet Julia Hart, and then the main event with Briscoe and White. So, and then I guarantee you the main event next week, it's going to take about 20 minutes to get through that like a Dragon Street fight here. So I will say the timing of this show tonight has actually been not bad. It's been pretty consistent. It's been a lot of fun here overall so far. It's been a good way to get through 2 hours without going absolutely bat nuts here, right? So. But once again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by here. I do appreciate it. Like I said, sometimes it's a little crazy being here in this wrestling world, and it's nice to have a little oasis here, hanging out with you guys and chatting. So it's always a lot of fun, always a lot of interesting conversation. Gonna have to find some way to do this a little bit more here, but I see so many good wrestling channels right now doing sidecasts, and the fact that you decide to choose mine, it actually means a lot. So, and the fact that we get to have a lot of fun, a lot of chats here, and if there's anybody you want to join me on here, or if you want to join me on here, just send me a message. Like the way the guest star works now, I'm able to I can hook you up straight through Twitch. All you need is a camera and a microphone. And your face could be on this stream as well. So, but yeah, watching these two guys work, like, It's amazing how many simple moves they can use. And they're back into another Meet Forever chant. It's always great. And half the people think you're chanting Lee, the other half no, they're cheering Meat. And the one thing about the Meat division that you can really like is the fact that when one guy gets the advantage, it only takes one move and then you can instantly turn it, right? So normally if you got a big guy versus a small guy, the small guy's got to get like... That's new. I haven't seen anybody pull out a knee breaker in a very long time. But when you have a little guy versus a big guy, it usually takes 4 or 5 or 6 moves for the smaller guy to get back his advantage. But when it comes to 2 big men in the ring like this, one move can change everything in a hurry. Just like you saw there with the knee breaker. And once again, just shot after shot. I don't think you'd see that move with a lot of people, so... I think you see a Boston... Yeah, you'll see a single leg crab here. No. You're just stretching the hammy out. No, not at all. Like half the people with a dragon screw, when you're dealing with somebody that big, the momentum actually, it's almost like trying to turn a log. Like if you have a log in your hand, you're trying to flip it over. You're going to have a ton of strength to do that. Oh, here we go. Vintage Joe coming up. The Manhattan drop. Okay. Jesus. That's what you call picking up a sack of potatoes and dropping it on its head. Literally. That looks like when you're trying to carry a big object and just haul it around. That was awesome tonight. That's a unique way to block a clothesline. Pop-up powerbomb. That actually worked out really well here, just because you're basically using the entire momentum of Joe, right? So what had happened to Lee's elbow pad there? Looks like it's ripped in half. A lot of people say, "Oh, if you would have got there sooner, you don't know if he would have come out. He would have come out of that cover sooner or not." Very nice. Can't fight with your legs if you can't move. Dang. That was a battle. That's a match I enjoyed. This vegan loves meat. I'll give him a rim shot for that. Oh, Max! You know what? Throughout the history, I'd still believe it. He is one of the top, well, hell, one of the top champions of all time. What the hell? Well, wait. Let me get this straight. You have somebody here who could definitely run as a TV champion. Danhausen runs in the ring and steals the title. I would love that. I'm going to get to it after these two promos here. Whoa. All right. There's a response. All right, already in the ring, guys, so we don't have to worry about that. But are you telling me that Tony Khan thought it was a good idea to beat out one of your top contenders and then just instantly drop the title?
You idiot!
I am calling that right now. Like, be it for me to ignore one of the best entrances in wrestling right now, but at the same time, what the hell are you thinking, Tony Khan? Give it to Keith Lee. Hey! I still have him already in the ring, but you know, it's always great to see Harvin Curve here. Crowd's already into the Bollywood Boys tonight. I still can't figure out why. If I was in, like, all right, you know what? Tony Khan's a freaking moron for doing that, but I will let him play out. But at the same time, he's starting to run out of free passes real quick. Oh, and here we go. This will be done in about a minute. Oh my God. Harv rolled right onto the standee. He broke the standee again. Could you not afford a new standee? That's the one thing I'm wondering right now. So what's this going to do? Somebody hit the tanning booth a little bit too much before coming out, or put too much baby oil on his hands. Look at those hands, like seriously. What? Like, seriously, is my tint wrong on my screen? Like, I don't mind the glitter, but those hands are so orange. All right, well, there's a mute. I honestly hope that they do get on a real tag team. All right, well, so that's on the pre-show. I'd assume that's opening on the pre-show. Joe's just calmly walking back there. I will say this. As much as people say the Ring of Honor titles mean nothing, that Ring of Honor TV title means even less right now. Oh, God. Actually, that's pretty much what Hook does these days, so I don't know what Mox is talking about. Really? Really? So they're going to end up going with like a full... They basically said it's going to be starting at the airport. So we might have to... Hear me out. We might actually get some cinematics to start off this, which with those two could be a lot of fun. Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley in the middle of an airport fighting. Sorry, let me correct myself. In the middle of LAX fighting. How many security guards will not be told about what's going on? That's the question I have right now. Because if that's the case, that would be a lot of fun. But, yeah, it's going to be insane on how things develop here like this. I think that's going to be a great match. I really do feel that the pay-per-view is going to be amazing. Even from 0 Hour with MJF joining up with the Guns, MJF, and I'm going to assume that he's going to take Samoa Joe up. If not, do we honestly see Max Caster being the partner? I don't think so. I think we might see I think Samoa Joe ends up being part of the deal. Unless Adam Cole's miraculously able to work. Which, based on the surgery and what he had done, a broken ankle takes a lot of time to get back into ring shape with. You're pretty much going to have to be a superhero to get back, which quite possibly. Maybe you could use the new ROH TV champion, Danhausen. I will say this, and I'll jest. I know I jump around back and forth a lot between topics here, but I'll almost say right now, on Ring of Honor TV, they are going to have a TV champion. Or championship tournament, sorry, to crown a new champion at Final Battle. Which this works out because they got 4 weeks to put that together. And then they'll have their finals at the pay-per-view. Which, shout out to AEW Ring of Honor for putting the pay-per-view on Honor Club for those that already have it. So now MJF has Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Jay White. I'm assuming that he's got a couple others. This does give me Kevin Owens vibes in a way. All right, let's get the predictions up here for the old women's match here tonight. So I do love the fact that, you know, the whole internet went crazy when Julia Hart ended up losing to Chris Statlander at All Out in Chicago. And they're like, oh, they're going to waste her. And like, she was taking 2 weeks off to get married to Lee Johnson. Like, it made the total sense why they did it. Makes a little bit less sense for the amount that Statlander's been on TV since. But I would like to see the TBS title be more of a workers' title. And you can give Shida a little bit more of a... to be perfectly honest, I'd like to have them... I'd love to have TBS and the Women's Championship on opposite shows. I was going to say 9 months away from the ring. That you better say injury or else everybody's going to be thinking something else. So right now we're up to a black mist. We're up to a blue mist. Are we going to see a red mist tonight? That's what it is. The new one's tomorrow. Well, she's been off for 9 months with a knee injury, so it makes sense. I love the pun, the Golden Jets for Jericho and Omega. Just for the fact that if you guys don't know what the reference is, the NHL team in Winnipeg's known as the Jets. Oh, and as well, just quickly talking about Omega there. If you have somebody that doesn't know about Omega at all, and you want to introduce them into learning about them, there is a podcast out, How to Wrestling, How with the number 2 Wrestling, where one of the members of the AE podcast, the Attitude Era podcast, one of the most popular wrestling podcasts out of England, he actually joins his wife in learning about different wrestlers and their history and go through certain matches about them. And this past week, the latest episode of theirs is about Kenny Omega. So if you look up How to Wrestling, you could pick that up, and they got a whole list. Like the one before they did on Vader. They've pretty much gone up and down the card from past to present. My groin is hurting right now. My groin is hurting a lot right now. That was nice. That's a nice little variation there. Well, yeah, I'll say my groin for that, because I'm just picturing me doing the splits like that. Don't get your mind out of the gutter right now. Thank you. This is a pure show here. All right, I'll trust you on that one. I'm not checking anything there. But it's nice. Like a lot of people forget that Red Velvet was one of the most influential, like one of the most seen wrestlers by non-AEW fans in the past 4 years. Because Red Velvet was Cody Rhodes' tag team partner when those two took on Jade Cargill and Shaq. Don't gotta be stiff like that. Yeah. Knew that was coming. That's what she said. Don't worry, I'll find some way to get that up here somehow. I'll just throw that one to you right there. I'll throw you a bone that way. I might as well just keep going on that on repeat right now, really. Yep, let's just... I'll just keep throwing that out there as a symbol. Just let the chat decipher what it wants to decipher on those. So... But they're definitely taking some hard bumps outside the ring here. It's weird to see Julia doing this complete domination. Well, actually it makes a lot of sense having Julia have the domination part of this. Because, well, think about it. Red's been off for 9 months with an injury. And Julia's been, outside of the one match, she's been on a heater for, what is it, 21 matches or something like that? She was absolutely dominating. Like, she's had more TV time than the House of Black, and that should say something to you right now. When a women's division wrestler is getting more TV time than an entire faction. Like, think about that for a few minutes here. I honestly don't know what's going on with him, whether there's injury, creative differences. I will say that there is a little bit of an overinflated roster over at AEW. I don't think anybody can deny that at this point. At least based on Tony's booking, there's an overinflated roster. Commander and Vikingo? Holy crap. It's nice to see Dralistico here in AEW. AEW still feels a bit directionless. Is not good considering WWE. Yeah, like we were talking about this off the top of the show here, that it's clear that AEW is securing up into second place right now, and that's not necessarily a good thing, but at the same time, what you can see out of an AEW show is the fact you know you're going to get good matches. Storylines may be very, very basic and be very, very pointed and very short, like we were talking about earlier, but while a lot of people equate alternatives to better, doesn't necessarily need to be better. It's just an alternative. It's just something different to watch that isn't WWE, which... And yeah, Game Time Art just threw a hell of a smart tweet in the chat, and it sort of makes sense to me. Why Joe doing what he did actually makes Max feel even more like, I get the counterpoint to it. It's the fact that Adam Cole really won those titles. MJF didn't. She ain't hitting that. She is. She's wrecking her neck. Oh, Red. Red with the save there. That, did you see at the very last second? Like, it was on a camera switch, so nobody really picked it up. Red slid out to, because you could tell early that she was way too close to the corner. And here comes Sky. What is Sky wearing? Like, seriously. And now here comes Statlander. Oh, here we go. You were looking for this heel turn? This is where we're going to get it. Please, missed. Please, mister. But those outfits, like, seriously, I didn't realize. Oh, God. What's RJ up to? Hello! Oh, God. So now we have a Tony stalker. So we've officially got Mariah May in AEW. I want to check with Melball and see what she has to say about it, because I'm just going to quickly text her while we're doing this. Just, oh, mute here as we're getting closer to our main event. And once again, everybody, just thank you for stopping by here. Next time I'm going to be on is tomorrow afternoon with a Mario Kart 8 Mario Kart 8 playthrough with Kayla J. Just throwing it out there. Sorry, I just had to let my New Japan cohorts know all about this and start them. We're going to be here with about 2:30 p.m. Mountain, 4:30 Eastern with little Mario Kart 8 with the new tracks dropping tomorrow. So we'll check those out. If you want to join us, feel free. Let us know. You can get on screen, or we could get together in a Discord here and chat, or you can just race with us, whatever works. And then from there, we'll be here on Saturday. We'll probably do a little MLB The Show. Try and get some of the mini seasons in so I can actually finish my Easter program from March. So, or April, sorry. And then I'll be off until next Wednesday here with the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. Once again, as we get ready for Full Gear. Special note, I will be here for Full Gear. I'm going to be trying to be here for the pre-show, so we will... I'll try and get everything set up before I go to work, and then when I get home from work, be ready to go right away. Yeah, it looks to be a Dynamite card, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, everybody, thank you. If you're new here, please hit the follow button, because that will allow you to find out every time I go live instantly, which I try to get my social medias out about it, but sometimes I'm a little behind. Full-time job plus this, plus other stuff, you're just trying to get yourself put together properly, so. All right, here we go. I think we're going to get our main event, or are we going to get a couple more interviews yet? Nope, they're not fooling around. Main event time. Does anybody here actually think that they're going to take the title off of, take the title of number one contender off Jay White and put it on Mark Briscoe at this late point? I don't think there's a chance in a hell of it happening, to be honest with you. Because there is no way they're going to be selling an MJF Mark Briscoe match as their main event. I still can't figure this whole storyline out. Chad, can you help me out with this? They say possession is 9/10 of the law. The other 10th is theft. Maybe just... Yeah, I'm just everything that goes over here, it's just, oh God. Sorry, just quickly found out Seattle Kraken's Jordan Eberle got a huge gash on his leg from a skate, and after a former Pittsburgh Penguins player died in a game in Europe from a skate blade to the neck. Anytime you hear a bad laceration, it's never good to hear. So, but it's nice to see Mark back here in a main event match. Just saw a comment up online as well. Mariah May comes in as a huge Toni Storm fan, which makes her as relatable an athlete on the AEW roster as anybody right now. But no, I'm just happy. I want to see what Mariah May has in store for us here, because I think she should be a part of everything soon here, right? Like, if you're just debuting in a talk segment, that's great, but so we're basically getting 2 street fights next week. Moxley and Yuta versus Cassidy and Hook. Well, I don't care if they say it's not a street fight. It's going to be a street fight. And then we got that Like a Dragon street fight, right? So I got a feeling we're going to have a lot of violence next week going into the pay-per-view, which makes a lot of sense. They want to sell some pay-per-view buys, right? Which reminds me, I got to get that ordered. When you don't have a sponsor to worry about this this show, you work on trying to get things together. Oh, and speaking to something I was mentioning earlier, the more I'm looking at it now, the more I'm looking at the metrics of different streamers that have done it. Probably going to try and set up for multi-streaming here for the wrestling shows, with people encouraged to come over to Twitch, because that's usually our best spot to be in, but it's more about discovery when it comes to YouTube. Also, the fact I can get paid over here on the old Twitch box. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out yet and you haven't seen it yet, check out our YouTube channel. For our wrestling side, we have a lot of simulcasted shows there, as well as a ton of wrestling matches here from up here in Alberta. And I do have to work on getting a lot more up, so. Gotta love Juice. He's like, hold me back, boys, but I'm going to shoot him the bird. Yeah, the good old interference spot right now. That didn't take long. Very nice reversal into a DDT here. Oh, and yeah, there we go. There's no injury. And of course, Briscoe has no friends whatsoever right now. So as we hit picture-in-picture segment number 1, we should hit 2 of them as we're going along here. Because I think we're approximately 12 minutes left from finishing. So knowing AEW, it is going to be 2 picture-in-picture segments here. But all in all, I have to say tonight was a really good episode to set up for next week. Other than what I consider one of the dumbest moves in history. And it, you know, they say that Tony Khan is a WCW fan. The throwing away of the TV championship almost feels like that's one of those Kevin Nash, Scott Hall throwing the US championship in the garbage. Or no, it was the TV championship he threw in the garbage. I don't know. Like I said, I've always been a believer, and I always will be, of letting things play out. My initial thought is it's a real dumb idea. If Tony Khan can book this right to get it to somewhere, give it to someone who's actually going to run with it, make it, build it back up again. Because let's face it, it's tarnished right now for doing that. You got to keep that title credible. If it ends up right back on Keith Lee, then it almost makes that feel that last match was unimportant. Because you have Samoa Joe lose that match to Keith Lee for that championship. You can throw that exact same promo out and still get the same response. The only difference is that promo might have to come out next week instead of this week. It does make sense, though, on Joe's sake for doing that. Because for him, he just doesn't feel mentally like he has a challenge right now with that championship. And bookie-wise, it looked like Tony Khan booked himself into a corner with that championship. Because, well, Samoa Joe looked unbeatable. He's trying to go for a major title right now, so you really don't want him taking an L anytime soon. So what do? But it's even like here, why even bother having a number 1 contenders match? I still think the booking of the title being in Jay White's possession is dumber than hell. But we'll see how it ends up. The one thing I would love to see, and this is something we could talk about a little bit of predictions as we go along here. We'll talk a little bit more about predictions about what's going to happen next week here as everything gets finalized and advertised. But what I'd love to see is the Guns beat MJF for the ROH titles. And then you have, during the main event, you have MJF lose the main title for interference reasons. You could have Strong come out and for whatever reason inadvertently cause a loss, wait a few weeks, or when Cole comes back to use his field to get it back, get into the World Championship combo. Exactly. Like, oh no, I get it. Like, there's a million different ways you could have booked yourself out of it. And I think Joe is about as bulletproof as Bryan Danielson is right now. And hell, look at MJF. He can eat a loss or two. Like it is But that's what we say. That's the same thing we say every time with AEW. Joe can promo his way in and out of anything, but you can't trash championships even if there are two. Exactly. Like, if that title sits vacant for a while, all right, fine. If they announce a tournament that they're going to do throughout Ring of Honor Club, I would love to see it, just for the fact that it gives you some reason to watch Ring of Honor TV. Because while there's a lot of great wrestling on there and a lot of great wrestlers, there's no real feeling of a necessity to watch it. It almost seems like a side accessory. And a dragon screw on the rope. That is nasty. But that's a big thing. Like, they're just trying to he actually got the Death Valley Driver on one bad knee. That's, well, I guess Jay White is a lighter competitor, so it does seem like he could do it a little easier. Froggy Bow. He's got to hit the J Driller if he wants to win. That's... You pretty much have to come out perfectly there, so... Oh, so they plan on going extra time? But no, here comes that second picture-in-picture. Jesus. Kiwi Crusher. Okay, I gotta take notes on that one. Sorry, folks, I just popped in there for a sec. Got to write the good old notes down here. Like, this crowd really wants Briscoe to win. That's what you like to see. Is the fans just honestly are the kind of fans that they just go the right way. But yeah, next week we'll get into a lot of our predictions coming up here for Full Gear. Maybe I'll throw some polls up instead of predictions here and see what you guys' thoughts are as we go into this here. Dynamite was interesting this week. We've had some highs, we've had some lows, we've had some what the moments that confuse the heck out of you. We're right now in the middle of Jay White versus Mark Briscoe for the #1 contendership. Confirmation for next week's pay-per-view. Feels like a transitional week. Yeah, like it almost feels like they're trying to kick themselves into gear for the pay-per-view next week, which when you're having this many pay-per-views, it almost feels like you need to pick it up. Yeah, good wrestling, but an episode you can skip if you wanted. Like, I'd say the only ultra notable things, first of all, Sega is sponsoring a match next week with the Like a Dragon Street Fight with Omega, Jericho, Ibushi, and White versus the Callis family. We did get the official presentation of Mariah May as a member of the AEW roster. Officially confirmed today in an interview with RJ City. Straight Jacket DDT, a different version of it. And the Blade Runner. There we go. And then the other part that's been concerning us is Samoa Joe won the match against Keith Lee for the ROH TV title, then immediately vacated it after the match because he said he wants to go after the AEW title. All right, so this is now official. Oh, obviously, ROH absolutely means less now than when Tony bought it. All those three are... There's got to be somebody in the back that... Okay. I don't think that'll be a problem for, honestly, for... Except for the people that don't want you to win. Yay! We're scumbags. I'm almost starting to believe that Jay White winning here would be a... What the... And the Acclaimed are getting beaten up by the... Okay. And the guy in the office is just... what? Yeah, but they... What are you talking about, Excalibur? Last time they beat up Jay White. Well, one of them wasn't Joe, we'll say that. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, and I'm being straightforward on this. Oh, they actually put a graphic up saying AEW is here, even though it's on TSN Plus. Yeah. I'm going to say this, and this is my prediction right now. They don't have a clue who they're going to have as the masked assailant right now. The man in the devil mask, I don't think they know. Could it be Adam Cole? Maybe. I don't think so. But yeah, it's all over the place. That storyline might be the most interesting thing going into what's going forward here. But we'll get a lot of storyline put together here, and I think we're gonna get another. Is another WWE and Hacker Dude angle? Yeah, like in many ways, what I'm almost thinking this is gonna be is the wrestler formerly named Mustafa Ali. I honestly feel that might be who it is, and he had that hacker gimmick before. So. Could it be? You know what? We'll talk a little bit more about predictions about that next week. We'll do a little bit more about predictions about the pay-per-view next week, and we got lots of wrestling to talk about next week, both on Wednesday and on Saturday. So, all in all, like we said tonight, it is a bit of a transition night, sort of ramping things up. You really didn't have to see a whole lot, but sort of finalizing things, getting things organized for pay-per-view week next week with MJF defeating Daniel Garcia. Oh my God, did I draw a blank there for a minute? With Daniel Garcia. And then we had Swerve Strickland beating out Penta with Adam Page coming out after. The contract signing between Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida. Another backstage angle that I'm glad was a backstage angle. Essentially a couple nothing matches with the Guns going over the Bollywood Boys, even though it's great to see the Bollywood Boys on TV. Then you had Sting and Darby taking on the Beverly Brothers 2.0 and beating them rather easily. Julia Hart beating Red Velvet in her return back, and then getting this whole Chris Statlander, Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, the entire TBS section getting put together the way it is. And then you had your main event there with Jay White solidifying his spot against Mark Briscoe, who's going to be now... Jay White's going to be taking on MJF confirmed, which I think we all would agree that's what was going to happen. So, all in all, pretty straightforward show. If this is one of those shows, if you check out the highlight clips, you probably got enough. I don't think you had any more. If you guys have any extra thoughts on it, feel free to throw them in here right now. Next week, I expect a little bit more action and a little more... It's the go-home Dynamite, which is their biggest opportunity to develop more pay-per-view buys for Saturdays. So hopefully they will kick things into gear to... give us a reason to watch a little bit more. So, and if that's the case, then good on them. Well, we'll talk about it next week, and we'll also give our predictions about what we think is going to happen for the show as well. So, kick things into full gear. You got it. Absolutely. That was all pun intended on that one. We got a full week of shows coming up here between Rampage... And here's the other thing. Here's an interesting factoid for you guys. And this is why I say Dynamite might be more important than Rampage. Next week, Collision goes head to head with WWE SmackDown. That is for the ratings on Collision next week, because unless they're going to pull 14 rabbits out of their hat, they ain't getting close to anything that WWE will throw together for that night. Because let's face it, they had to throw the kitchen sink at NXT to win that ratings war that night. A regular SmackDown, they don't need to bring anybody up. They just have to have they just have to have a decent show. Collision's always been a great wrestling show. They ain't gonna come close to him that week. So it should be a Rampage and Collision doubleheader. So they're gonna have 3 hours of wrestling on Friday. So At least that's what I believe is the strategy towards that. I'd have to get the final things, but yeah, that's going to be a freaking bludgeoning next week. If anybody's looking at ratings, I'm just looking at it as great wrestling over 2 channels for 2 to 3 hours that night. I can't see there not being great wrestling between both shows. As long as great matches are going on, people are going to stay on those channels. If there's great matches going on the other channel and you're flopping on the other side, click. Granted, PVRs are going to be a hell of a drug right there for that, but